Let's begin looking at the performance expectations. They integrate practices, core ideas, and cross-cutting concepts. They're statements of what is to be assessed. They're not lesson plans. They state what students should be able to do at the end of instruction. They're organized by topic and DCI. Many times you'll see these performance expectations listed as just PE, performance expectations. When I think standards, the word standard and performance expectation is used interchangeably here. Principles of the framework. Children are born investigators. Understanding develops over time. Science is more than a body of knowledge. Connecting to the interests of students and their experiences. Okay, again, this is the site we've referred to earlier, www.nextgenscience.org. In the previous slide, it mentioned that the standard or the performance expectations are organized by DCI or topic, and when you go to this site, you can choose which way that you want to view those. Okay, we're going to begin looking at the different boxes in the standards or the performance expectations and how to read those. Okay, looking at your book, okay, the top box, okay, is where you find your performance expectation. This is structure and properties of matter. Okay, students who demonstrate understanding can. Notice there's 4 performance expectations here. We're going to be looking at 2PS1-1, or that's the one I'm looking at. Of course, if you're in a different grade level, you're just going to look at any given one on your page. This performance expectation in black says plan and conduct an investigation to describe and classify different kinds of materials by their observable properties. That's the performance expectation. Notice in red, we've got a clarification statement. Observations could include color, texture, hardness, and flexibility. Patterns could include the similar properties that different materials share. So they give us a little more insight into what the performance expectation is asking us to do. Okay, so that's what is to be assessed. Okay, we're going to go to the middle box. This is called the foundation box. Notice on the slide it refers to blue, orange, and green. So let's take a look at those. The blue is going to be the science and engineering practices. So it doesn't matter which grade you're in. The practices are always in blue. The orange are the disciplinary core ideas. The green is the cross-cutting concepts. Now, I was looking at 2PS1-1. Now, of course, the 2 is for second grade, the PS is for physical science, and it's the first performance expectation. When I look at the practices, the science and engineering practices, I look down through here for 2PS1-1 for the engineering practice that goes with that. So I find it here. I notice that with this performance expectation, I should be planning and carrying out investigations. So planning and carrying out investigations to answer questions or test solutions to problems in K through 2 builds on prior experiences and progresses to simple investigations based on fair tests which provide data to support explanations or design solutions. Plan and conduct an investigation collaboratively to produce data to serve as the basis for evidence to answer a question. So that's the engineering practice that goes with that performance expectation. Okay, when I look over at disciplinary core ideas, I look again for 2PS1-1 because that's the one I'm working on. That's the structure and properties of matter. Different kinds of matter exist, and many of them can be either solid or liquid depending on temperature. Matter can be described and classified by its observable properties. Okay, let's look at the cross-cutting concept. Again, 2PS1-1. So if I look at the cross-cutting concept, I notice that patterns would go with that one. So patterns in the natural and human design world can be observed. Okay, so that's what you're going to do with each one of these. You're going to look at the performance expectation, and then you're going to look at the practice, the DCI, and the cross-cutting concept that goes with each one of these performance expectations. So that's the foundation box. The next box that we want to look at is the connection box. These are the connections that English language arts and mathematics make to this performance expectation. Okay, in this one, connections to other DCIs in second grade, there's not any. There could be in your grade level. Articulation to DCIs across grade levels. Now remember, this was structure and property of matter. When I look across here, I find that 2 PS1-1, that it articulates with a fifth grade performance expectation. So they're going to see this one again in fifth grade and probably going into much more detail on that. So you can see where you're going to see each of these performance expectations later. If you're a higher grade, you're going to see where it occurred earlier in the student's education. The connection with English language arts, when I look through here, there's one, PS1-1. I see a writing is connected to that. Recall information from experiences or gather information from provided sources to answer a question. And there's another one, dealing with writing. Participate in shared research and writing projects. Example, read a number of books on a single topic to produce a report. Record science observations. So there's how writing connects with that. When I look at mathematics, I see MP4, model with mathematics, connects with it. So that is our connections box. Okay, let's look at the whole page. Okay, again, most of these we've talked about, but we can look at it with a different view. This box is what is assessed. Okay. The top box is the title and code. In this box, we have the performance expectation. And again, we have, with this title, we have 4 performance expectations, but we're going to be looking at the first one. With the performance expectation, we have clarification statements, we have assessment boundaries, and again, that's to help us to understand the performance expectation. We have the engineering connection. Well, within the foundation box, this is the foundation box, we look in the practices, the engineering practices, to see which one goes with that performance expectation. We look in the DCI, the disciplinary core, to see which one matches, and we look at our cross-cutting concepts. Our connection box, we find in this connection box where the standard is articulated in other grade levels. We see connections with language arts, and we see connections with mathematics and writing. And we're going to stop there and get us ready for our Sean Elkins video.